Greetings, dear viewers, and welcome to the Average Joe Hobby Show. I'm your humble host, the Average Joe. Let's learn and have fun together. With that said, let's begin. Welcome back to the Average Joe Hobby Show. This is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. This is when I properly apply the next step for the trim of the Chaos Knight. This follows the information I took from the Wanhalago Rust tutorial. Even though I don't have the same exact color, I'm still using a brown and an orange to finish it off. So these steps require the medium. To properly explain how this works, it contains the same type of material as a paint, but not the color pigment itself. And as such, when you add more of this to a paint, it helps spread the paint out. That allows it to be thinner, more opaque. It acts, instead of like a solid color, it acts more like a wash or a contrast. This is very useful when you want to create layers of effects on the model that you are painting. So first, I'm going to apply DOOMBULL Brown as the first medium layer over the trim. After that, I will use up this MOLOTOV Flames from a Zombicide kit. Now again, this will not cover the entirety of the model, it will cover only a part of the trim of the model. Because I still want the paint to show through in certain places. And then of course, I will continue to make the layers with the orange after this. Let's do this. One of the biggest problems with using a medium paint on a large model is that you might not be able to finish all of it in one go. And as such, you have to use very specific processes to determine how much paint you're going to get medium. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this large brush here and use this to take out the medium. And I will remember to use this whenever I do this, because I'm not going to get this done in one step. No. So, I'm going to go by the brush full, so to speak. I'm not going to pour this out, because I know I'm not doing this in one go, but I know that this is going to require a good amount. And as such, I'll probably have to do more of this later, but, I'll do it off camera. Alright, let's do this. Start right with his feet here. Now it's not going to be on the toes, just this part here. Again, I'm not covering it all. This is more of a splotching effect. I'm trying to make it look like it's been rusted over and it's corroded and dirty and nasty. See the LEADBECLHER that's been washed with the Vallejo earlier is still somewhat visible underneath that, and that is exactly what I was looking for. I want to kind of like get random blotches, maybe skip a spot. Just make it, random. Make it neat in its dirtiness, so to speak. For his smokestack. Finger on it, try to make it more random and splotchy. Very nice. And that is the first step of the armor trim rust process that I learned from Juan Hidalgo. So I hope you like this so far. It's looking pretty gnarly. Quite enjoy it. Next step, we'll be applying the same concept with the medium, but with an orange. And that part will go very carefully onto the trim. And after that, I will take the original base metal, LEADBECLHER, which again is part of the rust process from Juan Hidalgo, and that will go specifically onto edges, and that'll help make it stand out, look like the rust is peeling away and things like that. And of course, after that, I'll do other things such as add maybe another wash, add some oxidation, and some metal scratches here and there. Now that I've finished that brown layer I worked on before for the trim of the Chaos Knight, I'm now going to use this orange and apply the same concept and medium it down and build another thin layer over the brown. So we're going to have that washed LEADBECLHER, the brown, and then the orange. And then after that will be the silver highlights and other oxidation type things. So here we go. It's a rusty camo. Now for the most important part, the little symbol on his head. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a cloth and just gently wipe through it. Just try to get a little extra residue off and spread it around. Yep, got a little bit of it. Nice. Little headpiece here will get some oxidation and silver scratches later to make it stand out more properly. Okay, that is the orange trim for this rust step tutorial. All the orange that I applied will get scratches of silver, not splotches, not thinned out medium parts, scratches. This will help create that, rusted, beat up, destroyed effect. And of course, other parts like the rivets and things like that will also get the oxidation colors, and there will be silver scratches on other parts as well. Very nice. Continuing with the rust tutorial from the Juan Hidalgo recipe, I'm going to apply LEADBECLHER again, actually, over the trim, but in a very specific way. So if you look closely, the trim itself has sharp edges. I'm going to take LEADBECLHER here and apply it in a kind of sloppy, random way over the edges. So, to put it quite simply, I'm going to put trim on the trim. Let's see what happens. There we go, that is the rust step-by-step process complete. According to Juan Hidalgo, I do not have the same level of skill that he does. Mine's a bit more off than his, I'd say. But yeah, definitely helps create the atmosphere of a rusted monstrosity. I like it. Now for the next step, I'm going to do something very specific, and it goes beyond the Juan Hidalgo rust recipe. I'm going to create an oxidation effect with this special paint known as NIHILAKH oxide. This is a technical paint which is different from normal paints. It is not something you directly apply. You have to take this paint, put it somewhere, and then dab it with a cloth to create a more proper effect. This coloring against the metal and all the rust parts will help create that, oxidation effect. It'll help make it pop, make it shine a little bit, that kind of thing. And after this, I'll apply silver scratches to wherever it goes. Now, this is actually not going to go everywhere, but specifically only on all those bloody rivets. Even on the parts that are black, the rivets will get highlighted with this and the silver later. So this part is the next step. Let's get the rivets right here. Alright, and that is all the NIHILAKH oxide technical paint applied. Some of it looks really good, especially on the symbol on his back here, a little bit on his main pipe, the shoulder pad areas, sword, gauntlet, various feet places around here, and so on and so forth. Just little things like the rivets and so on and so forth. Now after this, I'm going to reapply some Administratum Gray to a few specific hard edges on his black armor. This is the highest point where it cracks and breaks and things like that. And then eventually I'll place a silver dot on them as well. So let's get to it. Now this is a final highlight, so it goes on an extremely specific area. The very specific cuts right along the ridges of his armor, where any cracks go to the absolute edges. Now what I mentioned in the previous video is creating little highlights on the rounded part of his black armor here, right down the center. And right there, that's the light effect, so to speak, right down the center. Again, this isn't one of my best works, but I do what I can. And that is the Administratum Gray highlight. So the last step for this guy's metal parts is going to take place in two steps. First, a special dry brush color called NECRON Compound. Instead of being more of a liquid, it's more like a kind of a powder substance that gets applied. After that, I'll do a more specific highlight of some areas with Storm Host Silver. As you can see here, this is not a liquid, as I said, rather it's kind of a crumbly physical material. I dab a thick brush into this and make sure there's not too much residue, and then I apply it to the model. This gives it a very kind of speckled metal look. Take your time, work slowly, try to build up edges where you can. Okay, that's NECRON Compound done. this final highlight will go over the absolute details such as scratches, rivets, and parts like that. And that is all the Stormhost silver applied, mostly to all those little rivets all along here, little details like that. Now that I'm done with this step, the next step I'm going to work on are more details for the inside of his mouth, some extra washes. Off camera, I will do all the skin touch-ups for areas that have been affected by the work I did for the metal. And after I do the skin touch-ups, a few other skin details will be applied. And then, yeah, that would essentially be it. Of course, I still need to do the horns. And I'll use Stormhost Silver again to highlight these copper pieces, but that comes much later. I'm going to do a specific thing for all those copper pieces much later. But, yeah, this is almost, I'd say, about 75% of what this model looks like. But there's still much more to come. See you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video or stream. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment if you have not done so already. I really appreciate the support. Please let me know what kind of endeavor, craft, or hobby you're working on in the comments down below. I'll see you next time.